Okay, so um in the way of introduction, I'm Diana. I've been encouraged to kind of get on this medium and talk about who I am and what I'm doing by several people, primarily my brother and my sister. So I'm approaching it like this just so without a whole lot of fanfare and production so that it's easy for me to do so that I keep doing it. So, like I said, I'm Diana, and where I am in life right now is I've just graduated from culinary school, and what I'm doing right now, like right now, is revising a business plan. Now, this is significant because kind of my journey to this point. So, I'm gonna just give a really kind of like try to fit it into 2 minutes of like where I've been and where I've got here, just so you can understand um kind of why I'm starting to do this now. So I just graduated from Culinary Institute of America in Napa. I'm from Detroit, but spent most of my adult life in Washington, D.C. after graduating from Howard. I was a CPA for a number of years, and I guess I'm still a CPA. I was a consultant. I worked in the consultant capacity for companies like IBM. I started my career at KPMG. So I was well along that track, and then like 2012 or so, I decided that I needed to do something different. I should probably say, because this will come up later, is that in 2009, I got a bipolar 2 diagnosis. Um, so fast forwarded to 2012, I had pivoted away from kind of what I was doing at IBM and started creating different opportunities so I didn't have to go to the office every day. Um, by 2013, I was like working legit 2012, I was working 3 different jobs. So my first job that I took in the culinary space was Williams Sonoma. And then I took a job that same year at an olive oil store. And I was also working at IBM because I had no idea where to start. Like this love of like food and this passion to pursue a professional career as a chef didn't come from watching like all of the food shows. I think even those had started getting popular. I was already grown. I was already on the road all the time. So my passion had come, or really it ignited as a result of me like really praying about it. And Oprah had this whole series where she had dedicated the old magazine for several series to find your passion. And I did all those workbooks, and then it seemingly came out of nowhere. I've told that story over and over in different mediums of how I woke up in the middle of the night knowing that I was kind of purposed to pursue a career in the kitchen. So at any rate, I took a job. The person who gave me my first job, my actual first professional job, turned out to be my daughter's father too. Eventually, he became my daughter's father. Long story short, we were in business together. We're in business together. Um, moved to Detroit, had a baby, and we're doing business together, doing really well, building. It was a constant build, but we were doing really well, won some awards, kind of what you would expect in that first year. We were outperforming for having moved to Detroit that first year. Long story short, we split, and I was kind of lost. I had written a fire business plan for us. And so after we split, I lost all of my savings because I had basically kind of all the money that I was making. I was still making really good money. I had like poured into this joint venture we were doing where he was the chef and I was the front of the house person. And I can say now, looking back, like him leaving was a real gift that I struggled to like accept at the time, but it was a real gift because my dream was not to work in the front of the house. My dream was not to be the operations person. I very much wanted to be the chef. So after he split, I lost my investment. uh I, after a lot of soul searching, etc., I decided to go to culinary school. So I applied to culinary school when I was 38. At that time, my daughter was 2. Um, I knew I would start that following year, the January of the following year, I would be turning 39. And that just gave me a lot of anxiety because I was basically moving my daughter. We were moving from Detroit to California, no other family. I did that in January 2020, right before the pandemic. Um, I'm currently in Napa Valley now. I've completed culinary school, and it's one of the best culinary schools in the world. Um, one of the top 5 in the country. So I completed culinary school, and now I'm at a point where I'm revisiting the business plan that I'll call him my former business partner now, because it seems weird to keep referring to him as my daughter's father when that's not the capacity in which I'm talking to him about him. But at any rate, um the business plan that we did, I'm like editing it, and I realized how much I conceded in terms of like what I set out to do, what it became. Because I kept saying to people, "Oh, I already have my business plan. I already have my business plan." But then when I really sat down to read it, um it's not at all my business plan. It's a business plan that he and I had. Um that I look back at now, and it's like, oh, now you got to you not start all over, because I know a lot more, but I actually have a lot of work to do on this business plan, because um, I have to remember what I actually wanted. And the good thing for me is that I've always taken really good notes, like these little notebooks like this. I keep them all around. I could probably reach, and there's a couple within lanes. I'm always taking notes. So I have notes dating back to 2012 that kind of remind me of the first menu that I came up with. And when I go through like all of my notebooks since that time, the same menu kept coming up. And so as I look at this business plan that has a totally different menu, it's really just like a big reminder of just how easy it is to forget yourself, how easy it is to kind of, get caught up in kind of the destination, as opposed to keeping track of where you are in the journey. And I think that's something for me that I really, I was so caught up in like, I want to own my own restaurant. I want to be I want to be a respected chef. I want to make serious food. And it took me a long time to actually just buckle down and be like, okay, there's no shortcuts. Start from the very bottom, work every step. Um, so tomorrow, my externship starts. Uh, I'm still working on my business plan because I'm on target to open up a place in 2 years. And I want to say 2 years. That's my personal goal. That's the goal that some of my chefs have supported in helping me define like where I am in my skill set. And it's been improbable, but uh, I think what I'm learning through it all, and what's constantly being reinforced to me, is like you're gonna have to keep starting and starting again. And so like I said, this looking at this business plan, picking it back up and doing the revising of it, it's an eye opener. And I would just encourage anybody who's like building anything of importance. I think what I'm learning is like the real importance of writing these things down, because had I not had such a evidence of like what I was thinking at those times, then I doubt I would be able to remember so much of what I wanted and to see such a consistency in the things that I wanted. So I'm going to be checking in here all the time for all kinds of things. More of a vlog, as you can see, is purposely, I'm coming to you just like I said at home, rather than trying to get all dialed up and putting that kind of pressure on myself, because then I won't do it. So I'm going to sign off now because I really don't have anything more to say. I just wanted to start at the point of, yeah, I'm working on my business plan.